Okay, guys, do you believe that there's something that the rich are not telling us about money? Yes, you would be absolutely correct. Don't go anywhere because we are going to unload all of this. So, I was trying to figure out how I was going to explain this. It's a very loaded topic and there's a lot of information to it. And then I thought, why am I working so hard? I don't need to rewrite what's already been written. So, these are the two books I recommend you read immediately if you were not raised in a rich family, or if you just want to learn about how to make more money in general. I don't care if you were a rich child and I don't know, maybe your parents didn't speak money with you. They let you play with all the toys in the world you wanted, but they kept topic of money behind closed doors. I don't know. All I know is that when it comes to the topic of money, only this, well, it's basically a big game, right? Everybody seems to get that much, but only the rich kids were taught how to play. Okay, if you were raised in a poor or middle class family, you did not learn this. Okay, and that's how they set it up. They did that on purpose. Whoever came up with the system is a very fucked up individual, but just because people decide to play, that doesn't also make them fucked up individuals. Everybody else has their own morals and things that they would or would not do with money. Money truly only enhances your character. It's not the root of all evil or something super negative. It simply enhances who you are as a person. So that's something we're going to have to get out of the way right away, because if you want to learn how to make more money, you're going to have to accept that, hey, it's not the root of all evil, because depending on whose hands it gets put in, something completely different can happen because of that. Money is power, is what it is. And you've been specifically on purpose programmed that money is evil so that the good hearted people don't want to have any of it because it's power. Okay? So let's get over that. I put 3 little bookmarks in each one so that I'm going to be doing a little bit of talking and reading to explain this to you guys. Okay, so Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I believe I am saying his name correctly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to flip the video or not, but I'm going to try to explain this to the best of my ability. I'm sorry in advance if I was not able to flip this, but this is an income statement and balance sheet. Okay, here is one of a poor person, middle class, and a rich person. Okay, so there's a fundamental difference in the way they spend their money. Okay, so the cash flow of a poor person. Okay, let's just start really basic. Each one of these 3 charts has the income statement, which is up here, the balance sheet, which is down here. Income's at the top, then we got expenses. Balance sheet is assets and liabilities. Okay, your income is how much money you make. Expenses is, taxes, rent, food, transportation, clothes, things you're buying. The balance sheet on the bottom. This is the balance between assets, so things that you are putting money into that are going to generate you money back, and liabilities, things that you are paying for every month. This includes a house. Yes, they didn't teach us this. They get taught this though, and that's why once you read the book, this will make a lot of sense. That's why this is all different like this, is because we're all taught differently. So, which is fucked. I'm not gonna lie, it is. Okay, it is what it is. I didn't come up with the system. Okay, whoever came up with it has got some problems. Okay, but I'm here teaching everybody else because you know what? Everybody else deserves to learn the rules of the game. Okay? And I promised myself when I was a child that I was going to figure out what the secret was. And then I was going to tell other people. So, cash flow of a poor person looks like this. All of their money is going to go right in. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Right into their income, right into their expenses, and gone. Yep, couldn't put any money into assets because you probably already have money that you owe with your expenses. Can't afford one of the liabilities, you know. Seems like rich people have liabilities and houses and big purchases that they're able to afford to pay for every month, right? The cash flow of a middle class person looks like this. Their money is going to come right into their income, right into their bank account, but it's going to skip the assets because they weren't taught about those. And then it's going to go around into liabilities like the big purchases every single month, the nice house, the nice car, the nice stuff. Then it's going to go into your expenses like your taxes, mortgage payment, car payment. Okay, confused me for a second. Mortgage is listed in both of these, which I guess I don't know. I guess I haven't looked into which box mortgage is in anyway. Other things, movie theaters, wherever you want to take your kids, you know, just different things that you want to do outside of after you pay the big bills, basically. And you look rich, but there's a problem here. This is not gonna last because where is that? And we'll talk about that. Okay, the cash flow of a rich person. This might make some of you angry. Made me pretty angry when I first found out too, actually. So it's going right from the asset column into the income column. See, you don't work for this box. You don't work for that box. You put money strategically into that box so that that money will flow into you times 10, times 50, times 100, times a lot. So by the time you're putting your money into assets, it's paying you back, and then you can afford to buy everything else and still have money left over. Can I just have a moment of silence for the fact that they just lied to us about everything? Hard helps. Okay. So there's a couple things I highlighted in here that I decided to bookmark because I really think I did drive. I found some good points that I highlighted basically that I think is going to help you guys understand this now, or at least why you need to get your hands on these books as soon as possible. Okay. Okay, make sure to first buy assets that will generate the cash flow to pay for the house. So, cash flow they're talking about coming from the income that you're making enough coming in every month from your assets where you now can pay for your house and you're not getting into debt for the rest of your life. Okay. The poor and the middle class were taught that our houses are an asset. We are paying for our houses every single month, and it's showing up like this for the bank. Excuse me, our house is our bank's asset, not ours. Okay? Want to grow rich? Concentrate your efforts on buying income-producing assets. When you truly understand what an asset is, keep your liabilities and your expenses low. You'll deepen your asset column. So that means there's many, many, many thousands of different ways I could explain this to you, but this is just the way that came to my mind, so this is what I'm going to do. Say you're in the mall, okay? And if you're trying to build this type of stuff, maybe you shouldn't be in the mall, but I guess that depends on what I'm saying. So you could see a really expensive pair of sneakers and think, oh, I would feel like $1 million in those sneakers, which would actually help within my spiritual manifestation beliefs when it comes to money, but I'm going to make that a separate video. This is going to be strictly based on financial literacy right now, not spirituality. That's going to be separate. So you're going to look at that pair of shoes and you're going to say, I'm going to feel like $1 million. People are going to look at me and think I have money. I'm going to look good. I'm going to buy these shoes. So you buy them, you wear them, you become more into debt. You put money into, well, your expenses column, right? So you could also look at that same pair of shoes and go, that's on sale right now. And in fact, that looks really cheap. I'm going to buy those and I'm not even going to open the packaging. I'm going to set them in the closet for about a year, maybe 2. I don't sell sneakers, you guys. I don't know how long y'all have them sit there, but once a year or 2's up, you're going to pull out the box, you're going to take pictures, and you're going to sell them, and you're going to flip them for a profit. Those sneakers are now in your asset column. It's putting your money into something that is going to come back. That's what that means. That's what an asset is. So the point is to put your money into assets. The main difference between the poor, the middle class, and the rich is how you spend your money. Literally, when you make it, which in the next book I'm going to explain, there's 4 different ways to make it, but I feel like I'm starting to say ghosts or something. Okay. Sorry, guys. When you guys make your money, you're going to learn, or I'm going to teach you, that there's 4 different ways to make it, but when you make it, how you spend it is what is crucial and what's going to decide where you fall. What are your money habits? What are you doing with your money? They say if all the money was divided equally into everybody's pockets in the entire world, all the money's divided equally, it would still end up in the same pockets. Give it a couple months or maybe a couple years, I don't know, but it would all end up, because it's all based on spending habits, what you do with it. This teaches you how to, Robert is very good when it comes to teaching you how to spend your money correctly and actually have the financial education that you didn't get from your parents and you didn't get in school. Okay? No. I don't even care. Fuck when people are all like, oh, I learned how to balance a checkbook. I learned about a CD. You didn't learn shit. Okay, you didn't learn shit, okay? School doesn't teach us shit on purpose because we're supposed to be learning at home. If we're a rich kid, like, and that's exactly why Robert released these books. He had so many rich friends tell him not to publish them. Seriously. For real. I'm not lying. I don't know if he wrote about that in these books or I read about it somewhere else, but he was told specifically, please don't publish that, because come on. Which is absolutely ridiculous, by the way. Okay, wealth is the measure of the cash flow from the asset column compared to the expense column. Did you know you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. was going to say, did you know something? But obviously you didn't know this because I just learned this. So, semi-recently. Yes, I don't know, like a year ago. But about 6 years after I found the books. So, when you go to take out a loan at the bank, you want a big loan, you want to take something out, yes, they want to make sure you have a job or some sort of stable income today. But they want to know that you're good with money. And I don't know what they ask. Like, I've never tried to take out a loan from the bank. I don't know if they're trying to fill out some piece of paper or ask you questions or something, but what they are truly wanting to see is this. They want to see that you're set up to do this, because then they know our money can be trusted with you. You know how to spend your money. Shit still annoys me. Like, coming from somebody who was raised in poverty. Oh my gosh. Like, the audacity, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm learning how to play. I didn't set up this fucked up system. Okay? I'm teaching y'all because everyone deserves to learn how to fucking play. We all deserve a fair goddamn fucking chance. Okay. This first chart is people who pay themselves first. Their flow chart is their income. Then it goes into their asset column. That means the first thing they do when they get paid is they put some money aside for the future into their assets. I love doing this, guys. I started practicing this 6 years ago, and I'm really liking this. Then you pay for your expenses. That means keep what you spend low. Don't be going out and getting some big purchase, something big that you have to pay over and over and over again. That really adds up. It really does. Keep your expenses low. So you got taxes, rent, and food. Yeah, that's more smaller versus mortgage and all that other stuff that have been in the liabilities, I believe. I don't know, I'm gonna have to look more into that. So that's people that pay themselves first. Then, wait. Okay, now this is a little confusing to me because now it's going into the income, which is kind of crazy to me because that's telling me that their assets are suddenly paying them. So it's like they're getting paid and then they're getting paid from their assets. They're getting... Okay. That just seems like a dream come true to me. Like... The second diagram is people who pay everyone else first. Again, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm sorry if I can't flip it. Okay, so people who pay everyone else first, their money goes to their income and right to their expenses, and boop. I would make that little Pac-Man sound if I can, but doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Gone. I really should laugh. I'm only laughing because part of me inside knew for so long, like, what are they not telling us? I know they're not telling us something. I knew before I knew. And so it's only funny because so many people were like, nah, and like told me I was wrong and shit. Nah. Not wrong. Okay. Second book. I've got 3 minutes left till it's going to try to cut me off, so that kind of sucks, but I'm at least going to go over the basics. So if I don't get to all these tabs, I might have to make a part 2. But this is the Cashflow Quadrant. I normally consider this part 2 to the book, but then I realized this is part of a set of like 8 to 10 books that look the exact same with different titles. I don't know. This is the one I recommend, but seriously, grab all of them, because his books are fucking amazing. So, this is how you make money. Okay? Again, I'm sorry if you can't see this. E is an employee. You have a job. S is for self-employed. You own a job. Okay? You're the owner, you're the everything, you do everything. You have all the hands on deck, you own that job. I didn't think I'd have to explain E, but you know, an employee, you go to work, you clock in, you clock out, you get paid for the time you're there. You relax when you're at home. Okay. B is for big business. You own a system and people work for you. So just like it says, you own the system, you own the job, you have employees, all that stuff. I is investor. Money works for you. This means you are investing into things and the money is going to come back, or, well, sometimes it doesn't, but this is not gambling. The more financial education you have, the less it looks like gambling, and the more it looks like just being financially educated, to be honest. Because then it becomes really easy to, it's not like, I don't even know how to explain that right now. I'm not even going to try to attempt to get in that because I have like 2 minutes. Okay. Okay. Why people struggle financially. Excuse me. Would you believe that most people will be in debt from the day they leave school until the day that they die? It's true. This is the average middle class America's financial picture, which is the income statement and balance sheet from the middle class, which is income, liabilities, expenses, gone. Was that even not in the frame? Income, liabilities, expenses, gone. Okay. Someone else's balance sheet. Oh my gosh, the time. If you now understand the game, then you realize that those liabilities must show up on somebody else's balance sheets as assets like this. So coming from the asset column into their income. Anytime you hear these words, low down payment, easy monthly payments, or don't worry, the government will give you a tax break for those losses, then you know someone is luring you into the game. If you want to be financially free, you've got to be smarter than that. Most people don't have anyone who is indebted to them. They have no real assets, things that put money in their pocket, and they're often indebted to everyone else. That's why they cling to job security and struggle financially. If it weren't for their job, they'd be broke in a flash. In fact, the average American is less than 3 paychecks away from bankruptcy. They seek a better life and get run over by the game because the deck is stacked against them. They still think their house, car, golf clubs, clothes, vacation home, and other doodads are assets. They believe when someone else tells them that they can't read financial numbers to see the truth for themselves. Most people go to school to learn to be players in the game, but no one explains the rules to them. Oh, we're going to have to make... Oh, wait. No one tells them the name of the game is who is indebted to who. Because no one tells them that, they're the ones who become indebted to everyone else. And perfectly before we run out of time, thank you for being here.